Welcome to Letters from Little Saigon. Tonight, I'll share a story my father told me, one he only spoke of once, long after we'd both built new lives far from the place he called home. It's a story about memory, love, and the quiet ache of leaving behind a world that would never return. So, make yourself comfortable. Let's drift back together to the night he called the night we leave Saigon. When I was little, my father would sometimes fall silent in the middle of dinner. He'd stare at his bowl of rice, the chopsticks resting in his hands, as if listening to something far away. I never asked what he was hearing, only that it made his eyes shimmer with something older than sadness. One winter evening, when the rain was tapping softly against our California window, he finally spoke. He asked, "Do you want to hear about the night I lost my city?" I nodded, unsure what kind of story it would be. He leaned backside, and his voice carried a rhythm I had never heard before. Slow, careful, as though each word had to cross an ocean before reaching me. He said, "The night began quietly. The air in Saigon was thick with the scent of rain and street noodles, and from the open balcony of his family's small apartment, he could hear a radio playing an old love song." He said the city felt heavy, not from noise, but from waiting. He walked the narrow streets, past the yellow walls that glowed faintly under the street lamps. Vendors were closing their stalls. Mothers were calling their children in, a dog barking somewhere in the distance. It was, as he put it, a night when nothing happened, and everything changed. He told me about sounds. The echo of footsteps on wet pavement, the quiet sob of someone in the next alley, the flutter of paper lanterns in the breeze. He said he felt the weight of a goodbye he couldn't name yet, and when he reached the corner near the river, he stopped. He told me he saw his reflection in the water, and for a moment, he wasn't sure if he was looking at himself or at the boy he used to be. My father said Saigon didn't fall with noise or flames, it fell with silence. One by one, lights went out across the street. Neighbors whispered goodbyes they would never say out loud. The city, once so alive, so bright, seemed to hold its breath. He remembered standing by the open window, the night air heavy with humidity and jasmine. He could hear a record player spinning the same song, again and again, the needle scratching as it reached the end. Outside, rain began to fall, slow and gentle, washing the dust off everything it touched. He told me he thought of his mother then, my grandmother, whom I would never meet. He remembered her voice, telling him, "One day, you'll leave this place, and when you do, take its kindness with you." He packed only a few things: a photograph, a pen, a small notebook. He said he wrote a letter that night, a letter he never sent. It was to the city itself. He thanked it for every meal, every friend, every morning light that had spilled over the rooftops. He told it he was sorry for leaving, but that staying would have broken him. He folded the letter, placed it in an envelope, and tucked it between the pages of a book he would later lose on the journey out. "Maybe that letter's still there," he said. Maybe the city kept it. He didn't talk about boats or planes. He said only that one moment he was there, and the next he was not. And in that silence between, something inside him closed forever. Years later, as I grew older, I came to understand that his story wasn't just about leaving a place. It was about leaving a version of yourself behind. He built a new life here, in a small house in Little Saigon, where the air sometimes carried the faint smell of fish sauce and freshly baked baguettes. He opened a cafe. He told jokes in 2 languages. He raised me with the same quiet patience he once gave to the rain. But sometimes, late at night, I would find him sitting alone by the window, watching the street lights flicker, listening to the hum of distant cars. When I asked what he was thinking, he'd say softly, just wondering if Saigon still remembers me. Now, as I tell his story, I think I understand. We never really lose the places we come from. They live in the pauses between our words, in the scent of the food we cook, in the lullabies we hum without remembering where we learned them. My father carried his Saigon quietly in. The way he watered the garden, the way he bowed his head before meals, the way he told me to never forget where kindness comes from, and I carry it now. Through stories like this, if you listen closely, you can almost hear the rain on his window again. You can feel the slow ache of memory, the gentle love that never asks for recognition. That's the gift he left me. The way to remember without bitterness. And so, every time I light a candle on my desk, I whisper the same words he once said before sleeping goodnight, Saigon, I hope you still dream. Thank you for listening to this quiet memory from Letters from Little Saigon. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share so more people can discover these small stories of love, memory, and home. Until next time, may your night be calm, your thoughts gentle, and your dreams filled with warmth.